Hello, this is like gonna be like in between video here, because I was dumb and I didn't even talk about my I didn't even talk about my draft team. I recorded my my draft analysis video without realizing. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I actually didn't draft. I didn't talk about my my draft team at all in terms of like the name and the team logo. It's the Hamilton Tour Cats. So I'm Canadian. I'm from Western Canada, but I used to live in Eastern Canada, and there was this football team called the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Basically like a second home to me. A lot of family over there, and so I thought, you know what, instead of doing a team where my city's from, because my friend Dell D-Double actually has a team in my city, but he's not from my city, so I'm keeping up with that trend of having a team in my second home, because it's very dear and near to my heart, and I got it done. You know what, there's some really talented people out there making tons of draft logos out there. I found this one on Fiverr. The artist was super nice, super helpful. If anyone's thinking about having a team or getting one done, I'll link his services to anyone who's interested. I'm really happy with the logo. I'm really happy with the team. I'm happy to be part of draft. Hamilton Tour Cats all the way, baby. Oski wee wee, Oski wawa. Tour Cats, eat 'em raw. Let's go. I just completely scuffed it. And maybe, but I totally took it from the Tiger Cats. But yeah, anyways, that's the team. That's the logo. Back to the video. Woo! Hello. I think we're recording. I'm not sure if the intro video is going to be right before this, or if it's going to be a totally different video. If that's the case, go and watch that one. If it's right before, hey, how's it going? It's been like 2 seconds for you. It's been 10 minutes for me. Basically, this video, we're just going to go over the Pokemon draft, the Pokemon I chose, and why I chose them, etc. Kind of all that sort of stuff. This is for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi Draft League, so it's not Showdown. It's for Wi-Fi specifically. I've always wanted to do draft specifically for Pokemon since Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's my favorite Pokemon games, and Gen 3 stan all the way. So if you like Gen 3 too, awesome, cool. So always wanted to join one. I like sports, so if you're sports, if you know sports out there, sports drafts are huge. They're massive. They're all over the place. Pokemon's it's actually pretty similar. It's pretty much the same. It's also very popular on its own as well. A lot of big content creators in terms of Pokemon fiddle around with it, and they made it more popular. It's been booming lately, and I just thought, yeah, you know what? I got the stuff to do it. I got streaming supplies. I got recording supplies. Why don't I do it? So why not? So I joined one. Went on Reddit. Found a draft league that was very welcoming to invite me in. It's called the Watermelon Draft League. Everyone's pretty nice. Everything went super well. Draft was a few days long. It was a very long draft because everyone's from all over the place. It's totally understandable too. So what was nice about that is that it gave me time to really think and decide on what I want, kind of strategy going in. I like to give a huge shout out to my friend Dell, D-Double on YouTube. I'll probably link his stuff in the description below. Another Canadian homie from mine. He's in a couple different leagues as well. Played with some top players. Super nice guy. Just such a gem. So he was super nice to help me out and kind of plan things ahead of time of what to look for, what to think of getting, why we're doing it. Because I'm not a professional. Like, I know how to play Pokemon, but there's, certain levels from what I do to what other people do. He's a little over my my knowledge space, so that's why he's here and I'm here, and he's helping me bring myself up. So wonderful teacher. He's going to be helping me along the way, and I am happy for this journey. So let's just go over the team. So like I said, draft was about like 10 days altogether. It was, like I said, a very, very long draft, but we got everyone here. So the ruling, I should explain some of the rules. So you must have 12 Pokemon. You must have 12 Pokemon on a team. You need a Paradox Pokemon. And you get 3 Tera Captains. Your Tera Captains can be any type, so you don't have to decide on specific typings. So it's definitely chaotic, but I love that because any week it could be something different, encountering something super specific, or just run through a team. We'll see how it goes for me. I feel like I chose some pretty good Tera Captains. I was between there's out of the 3 I chose, there's another one I was thinking about doing, but I ended up going with one of them on. I'll explain that later. Couple of the rules, a little different from other leagues, but that's how they do it here. So who am I to disagree with that? It's the first league I'm in. I'm here to have fun, here to learn, and here to make some friends and acquaintances along the way. So why not just do it for shits and giggles, right? So yeah, okay, so 12 Pokemon, 3 Tera captains, need a Paradox Pokemon. Just so people know ahead of time, some of the specific rules are for battling is you have your Paradox Pokemon here, but you can't use its ability nor the booster energy. That's just the rules of the league. So if you have like a future Paradox Mon, you can't use Electric Terrain with it. You can use Electric Terrain just as long as it's not for the Pokemon. The same goes for Sun for the past forms as well. No booster energy as well. So I guess in this case, it gives you more of an opportunity to use different items and a different strategy with it, which is okay. I don't mind that at all. So I made sure I chose something that doesn't super rely on A, Tera, and B, their ability. You can only Tera under certain tiers as well. So every Pokemon's under a certain tier and certain point system and Tera point system. But we'll kind of get through that. I'll explain that more later. Okay, so we might as well start from the start. Here I got everything listed down of all the Pokemon, kind of what moves I was looking for, stat-wise, spread-wise. Really cool. These draft formats are a lifesaver, to say the least. Shout out to Fidel to sending me this. I appreciate it, buddy. So I guess we'll go down the line. So my first pick, I wonder if I can show it. So this is the draft order here. We got 16 teams. So being 8th first round, it's not bad. I'm right in the middle. So I kind of had an idea what I wanted. Initially, I was really going for Chien-Pao, because Chien-Pao is just amazing. The Mon, it just hits like a truck. Its ability is amazing. It's got so many access to, it's I should say so many things, but access to moves that will just completely like desecrate your opponent. It's just such a hard hitter. Wasn't able to get it. It was stolen probably about the 5th pick, I want to say, overall. And I thought, along with Dell, a good first pick would be Mew, because this Mon literally does fucking everything. Sorry for language. Like I said, if you don't like swearing, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna swear around here. It's my channel. Unless YouTube says otherwise, and I'll be going somewhere else. Mew literally does everything. It learns everything under the sun. No, I shouldn't say everything, but a majority of things. What I was mainly looking for is to have it as a hazards user, but mostly as a baton pass user, because you're allowed to baton pass. I think any time, whatever, but it can only be one stat. So let's say if I set Calm Mind, I can't baton pass to another Pokemon. If I set a Sword Stance, I can. And so be it for any Pokemon that can baton pass. So that's what we're going with. 100 across the board. Couple stats as well. It's one of the mythical Mons, so Mons like Jirachi, Manaphy, Celebi all has the same stats going on. Mew, it's just fantastic. It does everything. Thought it'd be a good pick. Kind of just have that as like a basis. Second here, we had a decent size gap. It wasn't too bad, but it's like as you see here, like from 3 to 4. Sorry, not 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And let's see, 9 to 10. Those are some really brutal ones, like 23 in between almost. So hoping that picks don't get taken. I'd say out of everything, like only one Pokemon was taken, and that was Sisui and Electrode, because that Mon with Tera is disgusting, and it's so good. In terms of like, it's mostly just for like hyper offense and just to hit like a truck and take nothing. It's amazing. Was taken right before one of my later picks, unfortunately, because it was a tier 5 Mon, so very low tier, but you can Tera it. So my point of view is like it's just so good. It's very good. So for a Paradox Mon, I just thought we might as well pick something up for our second draft pick, because a lot of the good Paradox Mons were going. Again, with Paradox Mons, you can't take advantage of Quark Drive or Photosynthesis. So I thought, okay, well, let's think of a good Paradox Mon that doesn't have to use that ability, right? Or it doesn't need it, like it can use other items. Iron Treads is fantastic. It sets up hazards. Well, specifically, as you see, Stealth Rocks here. It's got Ice Spinner. So just something to go against dragons as well. rapid spin, so we got a spinner as well, which is fantastic. It's got full switch. It's a nose knockoff. Like it's fantastic, especially having a ground and steel type, especially this early in the draft. Having it, it's like, okay, cool. Don't have to worry about toxic spikes. Don't have to worry about fairies. So that's pretty good. Third, this was kind of our go-to, or what Dell and I were talking about, but kind of like the go-to mon that I'm like, okay, we're gonna get, this is what we're getting. Gonna get Chien-Pao. So what are we gonna do? We get a Chien-Pao at home, baby, and you can Tera it. This mon is amazing. It's so fast. It's actually the fastest mon we have on our roster, at 125 speed. It's got knockoff back, which is just fantastic. This mon definitely wasn't as good as it used to be early game, like before DLC, but post DLC it's just definitely got a lot better. It also knows baton pass, so that's fantastic. Taunt is always good to have. Ice shard for a priority. It still knows toxic, which is crazy. I have a lot of toxic users, so the more the merrier. I'm not gonna set a reflect with it. Thankfully I have a lot of good on the mons who knows light screen reflect, so we'll take advantage of that. Weavile, it hits like a truck. It's fast. It'll counter mostly everything, especially stick turret. That's kind of, I'd say, like those first 3 mons are like the heart and soul of the team. Thankfully I got them. I was really worried about Weavile getting picked early on. Thankfully it wasn't. And then I think that was our 3rd pick, right? So yeah, so that was after like a huge difference you see here. Thankfully I was, again, like I said, I was able to get it. Thankfully from round 3 to 4 I get 2 picks back to back, so we ended up getting Vaporeon and then Tornadus Therian. Vaporeon, I wanted a bulky water type. Originally I was thinking of Tera, having this mon as a Tera captain because it has water absorb. So if I wanted to Tera into like a ground type, which I was thinking of, we could do that. I ended up not going with that because I thought Gengar, who I drafted later, would be a better Tera captain. So just still having a bulky water type is good. I still think even without Tera, it'll be useful. It's got Scald back, which is awesome. It's got Flip Turn. It's got Baton Pass. It does so much. It's got Wish Pass. It's got everything. It's so good. It can take up a couple hits as well. Like its special defense isn't too bad. It's got some bulk to it. Its HP is mostly like what we're looking for here. Just take a couple hits. Ground types against it won't do very well. So having ground type on your team or a couple is like super crucial. It's so important. Tornadus Therian is a monster. This mon is too good. Here's my tier 2 Pokemon. I should clarify. So Iron Treads was Paradox. Mew was my tier 1. Weavile was tier 3. Vaporeon was also tier 3. And then Tornadus Therian was a tier 2 mon. It gets Regenerator, so with Wish Pass, it's going to be amazing. It hits like a truck. It's got Toxic as well, Defog to get rid of hazards. It's still got Knockoff, which is fantastic. Thankfully I have a lot of Pokemon who knows Knockoff, so I don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta bring this certain mon, so I got Knockoff. It's like, no, thankfully for Knockoff and Toxic, we have a lot of variety, which is good. Immunity to ground, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's just mostly gonna go in there, hopefully get a kill, go back, and then the goal is to hopefully Wish Pass something to it. Not Wish Pass, sorry, like Baton Pass a stat into it, because once it comes in, it's gonna have that stat, and it's the health it's gonna regain because of Regenerator. So that was my back-to-back picks. Then I think we had a little bit here. Yeah, 4 to 5 was brutal. At this point, I kind of have an idea of what I wanted in terms of expanding. So I went with 2 tier 4 mons. And I went with Appleton and Tinkaton. Both have ton at the end. I think that's kind of funny. Appleton, I see actually a lot of draft teams using it lately. I think even though it's like quad weak to ice, it's still going to be pretty good in resisting a lot of different typings. It's got thick fat, which is really nice, so it's going to eat up a bit of... It's not going to eat up too much ice type moves, let's be honest, but having more of a, I guess, resistance against fire is going to be nice. So having a nice fire switch in, let's say if I don't bring in like Houndoom, for example, I got a good fire switch in right there along with Vaporeon. I mostly have this mon just have a decent dragon type. That's honestly, that's really it, and mostly just for the bulk as well. It's the slowest mon we have on our team, but at least it's got some decent bulk too, so it could take some hits. Let's see what we got here. I have team builder too. I'll show you off the nicknames, but I mean, it gets Dragon Tail, which is nice. It's got Curse, was pretty decent. I mean, it's gonna mostly rely on its on a special attack, of course, but let's say if we ever want to switch it up, Grass Knot is super nice for heavy Pokemon, high horsepower, Gyro Ball, Leech Seed, and it knows both Light Screen and Reflect, so if we want it to put a Light Clay on it, we'll do that. It's got Rest as well, Sleep Talk, we always do a Rest Talk set. Surprisingly, it gets Sucker Punch, which is really, really cool, and Trailblaze, which we probably won't use because this mon is slow as shit. Actually, I say, don't use Trailblaze on Appleton, that is. Take a ton. I didn't know what kind of Fairy Mon I had, and at this point, a lot of the good Fairy Mons were already taken. So I decided to take a ton. Its attack sucks, we all know that. But the Fairy Steel typing is so strong, and it's so good, and people mostly use it just for utility anyways. It's got pretty good utility. Thunder Wave, Stealth Rocks, Light Screen, Reflect, as you can see here. Fake Out, yeah, there we go. Some Fake Out's nice. Good Contend Hammer if we just gotta hit something. Foul Play, Knock Off, thankfully it gets Knock Off. Ice Hammer, so especially good against those dragon types, but we're fairy typing anyway, so it's not really gonna matter too much. Sword Stance, which is nice. Thunder Wave, kind of talked about that before, but mostly just having it for like utility reasons. It's good, has a lot of resistances too. I think that was like what number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that was round 7. So around here, round 6 to 7 was kind of brutal. Round 7 to 8 was basically like a whole stack, so it wasn't too bad. This is where I got sniped. I really, really, really wanted to get Hisuian Electro at that point. It was taken like the pick or 2 picks right before me. I was livid. I was like, no, are you serious? I was really hoping to get this mon because it's so good with Tera. It's fantastic. People don't know the power of this mon. Gengar was tier 3, which was very low. Okay, this mon is crazy. And since it was tier 3, anything tier 3 and under can be Terra'd. So since it was tier 3, I'm like, I'm gonna Tera this thing. There's no reason for me not to Tera it. It's insane. Like, its speed is insane, base 110, and 130 special attack. Like, that's gonna hit. You can Tera to any type, which is just amazing. One of the only couple mons I have that's got toxic spikes. At this point, Mew was the only one who had toxic spikes, and actually Mew and Iron Treads for a little bit it was the only kind of hazard setters. And I was getting a little worried because I know hazards are like super crucial for drafts. I kind of got focused on certain things, which I've learned later on. I'm like, okay, you know, I should kind of strive away from these certain thoughts that it's like, I want to get this thing specifically for this. Well, because I want certain mons to cover so many different aspects of gameplay, while realistically I should be just looking for more niche things and mons that are more open to do sort of moves or plays. So since Hisuian Electrode was out, I was like, okay, you know what, I need to get Gengar now. I can see him getting taken for sure. He's got no levitate anymore, of course. Like, that was quite a few years ago now, but still, like, so if toxic spikes are on the field, I can send him out and then he'll just absorb them immediately, which is really, really good. Just basically not a glass cannon, but just hits so hard. Even by itself, like, poison is still poison, so resists a good amount. Immune to fighting, immune to normal, so that's pretty good. Got some immunities right there. I guess going back, got a couple ground immunities. Well, yeah, we got a couple ground immunities, which is nice. We got a water immunity right there, psychic immunity, everything. Like, we're trying to bulk up immunities, as you see here. That's one thing I'm really happy with my draft, is that if there's something on the opponent's team, more than likely I have something to be immune to it. I was hoping to have like a good spread of resistances. When it came to like being weak to certain types, I made sure to have coverage. So Gengar was number 7. No, number 8. Let's take a look here. Okay, so I got him, and then thankfully it was kind of a back-to-back pick, almost like from round 3 to 4. So I'm getting my boy Repushin. Those who played Black and White back in the day, you know the homie Repushin. We got Conk Elder here. I love Conk Elder. I've always liked him. I think he's very underutilized. 3 fantastic abilities. It's got Knockoff. It's got Defog of all things. It's got Drain Punch, Mach Punch. It's got all the punches. Earthquake, Stone Edge. Like, it's like this mod is so good. It's so good. Just to have something brute force, it's just amazing to have. It's slow. It's 45, so it's not it's not really gonna outspeed anything, but its physical bulk is amazing. It's not gonna take anything specially really, but if it manages to get in, especially coming in from baton pass or something to at least raise up its speed or something, then it's gonna hit like a truck regardless. It's got decent coverage too, so we'll be good on that front. At this point, I knew what tier 5 mon I wanted, so I chose Houndoom in the end. Like, I was really thinking Cacturn at its time. Cacturn was just too slow, and it was another dark and grass type, and I didn't want more weaknesses to fire than I already did. So since I kind of like, so for the mons I was looking at for the rest, I didn't want more fire weakness, so I ended up going with Rotom Heat. Rotom Wash was tier 1, I believe, so it would have been too expensive. Mind you, these last 4 picks were all free picks. You can have your free picks anytime. They just cost a certain amount of points, so every tier has like a certain amount of points. So for instance, like a tier 1 mod was like 100 points, tier 2 was 90, tier 3 was 50, tier 4 was 30, I think, and then tier 5 was 10. And you can choose like tier 6 mons, which is like mostly it's most of like all like the base evolution mons. So they're worth like nothing. A lot of people use their free picks throughout the whole draft. I wanted to kind of keep it simple and just use them at the end. So again, I have like the first 8 mons that I really want and I was looking forward to getting, and then work around that for the last 4 picks. So we got Conk Elder and then Rotom Heat. Naturally immune to ground type attacks, which is nice because it's quad weak against them. So if anything has Mold Breaker, I'm fucked. And it's got Volt Switch, it's got Will-O-Wisp, Defog as well, which is really nice. Light Screen Reflect, so if I want to put a Light Clay on that and have it as a screens user, that's amazing. This thing's also going to hit like a truck too. I'm pretty sure it gets Nasty Plot again. Really sure. Yeah, so it does get Nasty Plot too, which is like really nice. Store power as well. Trick, have it as a trick user to fuck with my opponent a little bit. Would be pretty nice. Toad Scroll. At this point, I wanted something to help with hazards, and I know at this point, like, Toad Scroll's ability is a 50-50. It's a double-edged sword, so it's like all its status moves, they go last in priority, so it's always going to go second compared to what the other Pokemon, my opponent's Pokemon, is going to do. And but it ignores abilities too, I'm fairly sure. So it's again double-edged sword. It's another grass weakness, but you know what? It's got spikes, toxic spikes, and it's got rapid spin and spore. So we got something that can we got a mon that can put another opponent's mon to sleep, which is good. It's decently fast as well as base 100, so it could naturally outspeed a lot of things without any investment if they don't put any investment in it. It's the same as Mew in that front. It's got toxic as well. I don't know if I forgot to mention that, but again, everything now gets toxic again. Oh, I guess, you know, going back, I know I mentioned it, but like having a Pokemon like Vaporeon have Scald is huge because only certain Pokemon now get Scald. I was previously looking at Alomomola, or Amomomola, whatever its name is. That mon is significantly better now. Vaporeon also has Flip Turn, so it can get advantage as it can, or sorry, momentum. I was gonna say neutral, but that's more of like a fighting game turn. I guess in a way neutral. And I was earlier on I was looking for like Milotic, but that was taken too. So I ended up going with Toad Scroll, and it's another fire weakness, but then I'm like, yeah, you know what, I got a couple good resistances. Like Vaporeon's really good to have, same with Rotom Heat right before, and lastly I chose Houndoom. Again, it was between Cacturn and Houndoom. I just thought Houndoom can probably hit a little harder in terms of what it can actually do. Cacture's more of like it learned almost like every hazards out of everything. Houndoom's very limited in what it could do. But I think with Tera, it's actually pretty decent. Base speed 95 is good. Nothing to laugh at. Special attack is 110. It's not really going to be eating any hits. Maybe it will if once it Tera's. But it's got flash fire, so that's the one thing I was really looking for, is just having a fire immunity to it. And plus it boosts up fire type moves. So as you see here, I chose Weavile, Gengar, and Houndoom as Tera captains. I was really between a Vaporeon and Gengar, because again, I was really thinking, I'm like, oh, a Vaporeon Tera would be actually really good with Water Absorb and Baton Passing and all that sort of shit. I ended up going with Gengar because I think it's just going to hit harder, and I think just with Tera, it's going to just be almost like Hisuian Electrode, where it's going to be fast and be like almost like a glass cannon. So in that way, I wasn't too sad later on once I missed out on Electrode, because I think Gengar is just going to do what he can. Just do different variations, of course. Overall, I'm not, you know, like I said, the only Pokemon I missed was Hisuian Electrode. Having Chien-Pao really early on would have been nice too, but I'm very impressed with my team. I basically got everything I wanted, so I can't complain too much. The only thing I think I am lacking is like in terms of like the really powerful Pokemon, so something like Annihilate or Excalibur or like Palafin, like something that just hits super fucking hard. I mean, I guess we do, like we have super fast mons, like we got Tornadus and Weavile right there. Mew does everything as well. Gengar as well is gonna hit like a truck. So at least we got like these mons that are gonna be super fast and hit. And we got some good bulky mons, like Mew, Iron Treads, Vaporeon, Appleton, Tinkaton, Conkeldurr, Toedscruel, Rotom. And I'm hoping to make Houndoom hit. I've always really liked Houndoom. I love Mega Houndoom too. I used to run him back in Oras, so end of Gen 6. And a bit of Gen 7 as well, but he was never that great, and like Solar Power is such a garbage ability. I've always loved Houndoom. Again, I like Cacturne too, but that's because I'm a simp for Gen 3, but I just thought Houndoom would be the better choice. So overall, I guess I should put this to 0 now. Overall, I'm really happy with what we chose and what we got. In terms of hazards, I'm pretty happy now. Mew just does a whole lot. What's nice, so it's like I can have a team and then I insert Mew and it literally covers like so many different options of what I'm lacking. So I'm really happy we got that turn 1. And Iron Treads I think is just gonna be fantastic. Just good supports. Having a ground and steel mon is gonna be good. Weavile is gonna hit like a truck. I think this mon could be the I'm hoping to be the MVP of the team. Vaporeon, I've always liked Vaporeon a lot. I think it's gonna be good. Wish could Tera it if I had more, but oh well. Tornadus Therian, I've used it a little bit, always been interested in using it. So I'm hyped for the Regenerator, Baton Pass tactics. Appleton never used it at all. So we're going to try that out. Tinkaton, always seen good stuff with it. Gengar's amazing. Conkeldurr, always loved using Conkeldurr. Rotom Heat, I love the Rotom forms. It's probably my second favorite Rotom form. It's like between that and Mo, I find. Toedscruel, never used it too much. Hopefully the ability won't fuck me over too much. But if it puts someone to sleep, that's a game changer. So let's hope for that. And Houndoom, I think this is gonna be the dark horse, pun intended, of the team. I'm really hoping it performs more than it should. If it takes lots of mons down, excellent, and it's done more than I wanted to do. So let's get to some of the nicknames. So I'm a huge wrestling fan. To any of those who watches wrestling, hopefully you understand my comedy here. And too sweet, brother, I got you. But yeah, so a lot of the nicknames are going to be named after certain wrestlers or that sort. So first we have MWO, based off the NWO New World Order from WCW and WWE. New and Mew, pretty self-explanatory there. I just thought it was fairly funny. We got Keep Rollin', the Iron Treads, based off American Badass Undertaker. His theme by Limp Bizkit. Keep rollin', rollin'. Please don't DMC me, Limp Bizkit. we got AJ Viles. I crack myself up with these names sometimes. It's so stupid. Based off AJ Styles, a phenomenal one, of course. Then we got... Woo! I didn't want to do that right into the mic. Based off Charlotte and Ric Flair. I just thought Vaporeon looks like their robes, so I chose that. Originally, I had the name as Flair. Chose it to Woo. Same with like Keep Rolling. Originally had it as Deadman Inc. Changed it because I think you can only have like 12 characters in a Pokemon name, so I wanted to limit myself to that. Then we got Stormbreaker, Tornadus Therian, named after Will Ospreay's finisher, Stormbreaker. It originally was gonna name Ospreay, but thankfully his finisher was able to fit inside the cap of letters, and I just think it actually really suits Tornadus Therian, Stormbreaker. Then we got my homie Caribbean Cool Carlito. He spits the face of people who don't want to be cool. Always got an apple in his hand. Love me some Carlito. Appleton is literally an apple, so I thought that works perfectly. Then we got Howard Tinkle. Based off the Fink, Howard Finkel. Rest in peace. One of the best wrestling interviewers of all time. Such a gem. I know Tinkaton's always going to be a girl, but to me it's like it's perfect. It doesn't get any better. Originally, Gengar's name was The Fiend, based off Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He passed away a few months early. Such a good guy. Died too young. So in honor for him, so for some spooky shit, we're gonna call it Sister Abigail, the woman he loved and adored and praised. Almost like he was basically a cult leader. So I think Gengar's pretty cultish. So we're gonna go Sister Abigail. Then we got my homie Brock Lesnar. Based off former UFC champion and wrestling champion Brock Lesnar. He's massive, he's veiny, so that's basically Conk Elder right there. We got Brock Lesnar. Then we got my boy Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. The name was just perfect for it. I couldn't resist. Shout out to Eddie, one of the goats of wrestling. Then we got Join the Dark Order. This is a shout out to Dark Order from AEW and to Brody Lee, the late great Brody Lee, passed away a couple years ago too. Their logo is like it's like a Cthulhu, so, or like an octopus or that. So I thought, hey, might as well. Looks just like it. And last but not least, we got the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. For Houndoom, again, just works right there. I spent way too much time looking into these nicknames because I'm a wrestling nerd. I'm very happy with these nicknames. These nicknames might change over time. If so, I'll make a notation or something for it. If anybody wants to help me with mocks, that'd be great. I do have maybe my friend Dell. I'll probably be asking you for help, buddy. I need assistance. Or my friend Owen, OG Albina, who's also in a couple leagues of his own. Super great guy. I've been really lucky to be part of these guys' smaller communities and their channels, and just to have support out there. Everyone's really nice. Everyone's really good. So thankfully, I've been able to like make some good acquaintances and friends from it. And I'm hoping to have fun. And that's the whole goal. Is to have fun and test the waters and have these matches and display them to the world. But only a couple people know about it. So it's mostly just for myself and for my friends. So if that's how it is, so be it. Otherwise, who knows? I might be the best Pokemon player in the world, and we'll see in like 5 years when I become world champion. So if that happens, you got video footage right here on October 25th, 2023. I'm dating where this video was happening, so if it comes out much later, it just shows my editing is slow. Or I wasn't happy with the take, but I don't want to retake this because it's already been 33 minutes. So anyways, that's gonna be the video. It's your boy Jarl. Thanks for checking out. My Twitter is down below. /X, it's Twitter. Like I said before, it's Twitter. Follow me, talk to me, DM me. I'm down for chats, for games. Yeah, let your boy know. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye bye.